Am I being detained?
No, you're not being detained, no.
See you later then.
But you're not, you can't go through there.
You're harassing me.
I'm not harassing
I'm trying to walk away.
Okay,
I'm going to go this way instead then.
No, if you...
No, I'm going to go to the bus stop. Okay? Leave me alone.
Welcome Blue Line UK. In this channel we break down encounters between the public and police, looking at the law, conduct and context so you understand your rights and their responsibilities. This episode is credited to Audit Ed, so check the link below and support his channel. In this clip, Ed is outside a university campus with a camera when police quickly engage him, setting a cautious tone from the start and treating him as a concern before anything is clearly explained. What follows is a calm, steady exchange where Ed repeatedly asks for specifics, challenging vague suspicion and pushing officers to clearly justify their actions and authority.
Are you guys here for me?
Yeah, hi.
Oh, why? Can you maintain your distance there?
Can. Of course, yeah.
And also identify yourselves. Did you just switch your camera on?
Yeah.
Alright, please don't delete that. I'll be requesting a copy, alright? Also yours, please don't delete that. I'll be requesting a copy.
Deleted. Of course.
Alright, can you identify yourselves, please,
Can I
officers?
ask you first, sorry, what was your first name, my friend?
I'm not at liberty to give you that. When you approach a member of the public, you identify yourself. That's your policy, so identify yourself.
Okay. So my name is Simon Tops, Police Constable 693, Simon Tops, Avon, Somerset Police.
And yours is?
My colleague.
5512, Josh Burnell.
Alright, and what crime have I committed, or do you suspect me of committing?
Okay, what are you being so hostile?
I'm not being hostile, I'm just asking you, because when police approach me,
Yeah.
police come to deal with crimes, do they not?
Not necessarily, no.
What do they come to deal with? Civil matters?
Well, we're here to prevent crime.
So what crime do you suspect me of about to commit?
Not suggesting you're committing a crime at all. So.
Alright then.
What was your first name, so I can talk to you on first name basis?
No, it's fine, I'm not going to give you that.
Okay. Are you filming at the moment?
I am indeed, for my own
What's
protection.
the purpose of you filming?
My own purpose.
Right.
They approach without any clear introduction or explanation, leaving Ed to ask who they are, an early sign of how casually the interaction has begun. Rather than addressing the straightforward question of what offense is suspected, the conversation quickly shifts to labeling him as hostile. That term is often used too loosely when someone simply requests a lawful basis for police involvement. Seeking clarity is not aggression, it's a reasonable expectation of accountability. If there were a genuine suspicion of wrongdoing, it should be stated plainly from the outset instead of being replaced with vague character judgments.
Can I ask why you're here at the
Can I ask you a question? Am I being detained?
No, you're not being detained, no.
See you later then.
But you can't go through there.
I just asked the gentleman if I could go through and he said yeah.
Chris?
Did you not just tell me the way to the bus station?
You did ask me where the bus is,
And left at the machine and all the way down?
I did say that.
Yeah.
Okay, can
Okay.
I just...
No, you can't actually.
Okay, well, whilst you're walking, I'll just make it quite
Are you
clear
following
for
me?
I'm not following
You're
you.
harassing me.
I'm not harassing
I'm trying
you,
to
I'm
walk
talking
away.
to
Okay,
you.
I'm going to go this way instead then.
No, if you...
So if you no, I'm going to go to the bus stop. Okay. Leave me alone. All right.
Okay, that's fine. If you make your way to the bus stop, that'd be great.
But I'm not going. You're not going to follow me.
What?
Which way are you going?
Sorry?
Which way are you going?
Look, if you don't want me to follow...
I'm just asking you which way you're going.
I'm not here to call...
I'm just asking you which way you're going.
It doesn't matter which way I go. I can go whichever way I like. I'm not being...
All right, I'll wait for you to go then.
I'm not being dictated to by you.
Do you know your
where
oath?
I go. All right?
Do you know your oath?
Yeah, I do.
Can you say it to me?
No.
I'll start you
I'm
off.
not going to say it to you.
I'll start you off.
I'm not here to justify my actions.
No,
to
you're
you.
here to uphold the law.
I am
Have I broken it?
Not at the moment, you haven't.
So leave me alone.
They tell him he is not detained, so he acts accordingly and begins to leave, exactly what any free person is entitled to do. But the dynamic immediately changes again as officers start questioning where he is going and follow behind him, blurring the line between free to leave in theory and in practice. It becomes contradictory, either movement is restricted or it isn't. Ed then asks for clarification about the officer's oath, not to provoke, but to highlight the standards they are meant to uphold. The refusal to engage, paired with, "I don't have to justify myself," becomes the most revealing moment of the entire interaction, because public authority isn't meant to operate on demand-free explanation.
This isn't consensual.
That's fine.
Policing by consent. Leave me alone.
Okay, off you go then.
No, I will
Have a
go.
nice day.
I will go when I'm ready.
Okay, that's
Okay. Cool.
Have a nice day.
I will. I'm actually having a lovely day.
Okay. If you could make your way to the bus station, though,
Why?
that would be great.
Why?
Okay, that's fine. I'm not here.
So why do you keep telling me what to do?
I'm not telling you what to
You
do.
are. You just said make your way to the bus station.
You
Like
said
what
you were
right?
making your way-
Can I just ask you, what right do you have to tell me what to do when I haven't broken the law?
Okay.
You haven't got a right to tell me what to do when I haven't broken the law. So stop trying to bully me.
I'm not trying to.
Yes,
bully
you are.
I'm
You're trying to
find
tell
out-
me what to do.
I'm trying to find out why you're walking around a university
Because
with
I'm.
a camera.
I'll tell you why. Because I'm allowed to.
Okay.
Photography is
But
not a
some
crime.
of this university is private premises.
No, it's not,
It
bro.
is,
Do you know?
I'm afraid, and that's where you're wrong.
Are you familiar with Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972?
No, I'm not. No,
you're
not
not. But you
particularly.
should be.
Okay.
Because it's the law.
Okay.
Which says at the material time of operating, the public are allowed access, whether upon payment or not.
To where?
Anywhere that is open. This is a public space. These lines were painted by the council.
The tone shifts into a quieter form of pressure, where instructions are delivered as if authority alone is enough to make them lawful. When that doesn't hold, the justification changes to private premises, stated with certainty despite no clear foundation being provided. Ed keeps the focus on structure rather than emotion. He asks whether the officer is aware of Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972, which relates to access rights in areas the public are normally allowed to be in. The officer admits he is not, which becomes a key point in the exchange. It highlights a gap between enforcement and legal understanding, where boundaries are being applied without clear legal grounding. Ed then refers to visible council road markings and public highway indicators, suggesting the space aligns more with public access than restricted property.
I think you're mistaken.
No,
This part of this
I'm not.
university is private property.
Can I just ask you
There
another
is
something?
public access
If I
to
was to
part
say
of
to
the
you,
university.
if I was to say to you, I'm not going anywhere, what could you do?
Sorry?
If I was to say to you, I'm not going to leave now, what could you do?
Well, I don't intend to do anything
You
at the moment.
couldn't do anything because I haven't broken the law. When those guys rang you and reported a crime, what you should have said to them, he's not breaking
They
the
have
law.
reported a crime.
What did they
They
do?
reported a suspicious person filming at a
suspicion-
university campus.
Is photography a crime? You're recording. You're
Well, I
recording.
don't know.
You guys, let
How
me
do
just
I
say,
know
you,
that you're not filming for terrorist
do you know,
purposes?
you see that on your uniform?
Yeah.
That thin blue line thing?
How
That
do
is
I-
an utter disgrace.
How do I know?
You disgrace the country with that.
How do I know that you're not filming for terrorist purposes?
Sir, we
for
go.
example?
Sir, we go on what we do know, what we don't, not what we don't.
Well, not necessarily.
No,
That's again
so-
where you're wrong. Isn't
Okay,
It?
so what reasonable suspicion do you have that I'm a terrorist,
Well,
sir?
you're filming a university campus.
So you're
with a
trying to get me
camera.
on Section 43.
No, I'm not.
So why'd you mention it then?
Well, because I'm just explaining that you seem to think that I can only act when a crime's been reported.
No,
but
you're more than willing to come up to me and ask me.
Yeah.
If you can articulate reasonable suspicion that I may be a terrorist,
Well, you're walking around a university campus with a camera, and
This is a uni.
and you won't explain why.
but I don't have to.
Security reporting him as suspicious doesn't turn lawful filming into a crime. It only reflects discomfort with being recorded. When Ed asks whether recording is illegal, they avoid a clear answer and instead raise extreme speculation about possible terrorist intent. Ed brings it back to basics, pointing out that policing must rely on actual facts, not imagined scenarios, and if the only issue is filming in a public area, then there is no clear suspicion of an offense, just unease with the camera.
Well, then that gives me suspicion of what your activity is.
So you think I'm a terrorist? You have reasonable suspicion that I am up to terrorist activities.
I don't know why you're...
I'm not engaged in any
why are you
hostile
filming?
reconnaissance because I can, as my rights allow me to. Is this not a free country?
Yeah, but...
So, and am I not allowed to own a camera?
You are allowed to
You're
own a camera.
filming. What's the difference between
You're
you
allowed
and
to own a
I?
camera, and you're allowed to film.
And what's
and
the
I'm not-
difference between you
and
and...
I'm not preventing you from doing that.
But why
I'm
are you
not
accusing me of
asking
being
for
a
camera.
terrorist then?
I'm not accusing you of being
Well, why
a
are you saying I'm
terrorist.
suspicious?
I'm just saying there are some concerns about your
What concerns?
nature of why you're filming
What
in an empty
concerns?
university.
What concerns?
But then it gives me suspicion for why you're here with a camera.
Suspicion is not a crime.
No, but it gives me grounds to do certain things if I feel it necessary.
Are you threatening me?
I'm not threatening you.
So
I'm
what do you mean
explaining
then?
what the law is.
Well, you don't know the law because that's not
Well,
right.
I think I do.
Well, tell me what reasonable suspicion you have.
Well, why are you filming a university when it's
I'm not
closed
telling you.
with a camera?
I'm not telling you.
Okay, well then I'm suspicious.
That's fine. You can be suspicious.
I can, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
But then I can also act on that suspicion
No, you
if I
can't.
feel it appropriate.
You can. Yeah, you can, and I'll sue you.
Okay, well, but that's my decision.
Yeah, I know. When you lose your job.
Well, I'm not doing that, am I?
No, because you're scared
But
to.
you're not helping our cause.
I don't
here,
have
are
to
you?
help you.
Ed repeats the same point because it's being ignored rather than addressed. Filming in a publicly accessible area isn't unlawful just because someone finds it uncomfortable. He also points out the contradiction that officers are themselves recording him while suggesting his camera is somehow suspicious. That inconsistency matters, because it shifts the focus from the act of recording to who is doing it. When the justification turns into, "my suspicions give me grounds," Ed challenges that directly. Suspicion isn't unlimited authority. It has to be reasonable, specific, and connected to an identifiable offense, not a vague feeling of concern.
I don't have to help you, do I?
You don't have to.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, okay. I think we understand where we are.
I know where I understand where I am. I
You
know the
understand
law.
where
You
I am.
don't. You those gentlemen over there, the guys who called the police, whoever called the police, I suggest you go and speak to them about Section 5 of the Criminal Law Act 1967, making a false report, because that's wasting police time, which is actually a criminal offence.
Okay. It's been nice talking to you. If you're heading towards the bus stop, then
I'll go wherever I like.
Have a lovely day.
I'll go wherever I like.
Well, you won't go wherever you like.
I will indeed.
Because parts of this.
I'll go anywhere that is publicly accessible. I will go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no one will stop me.
Yeah.
Not those guys up there. Not you guys
But what
either.
you need to understand at the moment.
I don't need to understand
just so
anything.
that
I know
we're
the
clear,
law.
Is so do I.
Yeah. No, you don't.
So do I. Okay.
You don't. You don't even
This
know
is
what
a-
Criminal
this-
Justice Act, Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act
This is-
1972 is. Do you know it?
This is a
You need to
private.
know the ins and outs.
Of course you know. Of course, if you're gonna uphold the law, you have to know the ins and outs of the law. How can you tell me that you don't have to know the ins and outs
Okay.
of the law, but then you're here to uphold it? How does
Okay.
that make sense?
Ed shifts the focus away from himself and onto the basis of the complaint, suggesting that if any line has been crossed, it may be by whoever escalated the situation without justification. He references Section 5 of the Criminal Law Act 1967 in relation to knowingly false reports that waste police resources, but that point is brushed aside rather than engaged with. It highlights a pattern where scrutiny is directed at him, not the origin of the allegation. When told, "You can't go wherever you like," Ed responds by clarifying he is in a publicly accessible space, yet that is not properly addressed. Instead, one officer suggests he doesn't need to know the ins and outs of the law, which is significant because it implies enforcement without a clear understanding of legal limits.
You're even in Somerset Constabulary, innit?
Okay.
Absolute joke.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
I haven't enjoyed myself, actually. You've ruined my day. So go away now, please.
Parts of the university are private premises. There are public access routes.
I won't go anywhere that is private. I haven't been anywhere that's private, and I will not go anywhere that's private. As you could probably understand from the way I speak, I know exactly what I'm doing, sir. I know the laws that surround what I'm doing. I don't appreciate you accusing me of being a terrorist.
Well,
What's your number
I've
again?
not accused you of being a terrorist. I've explained.
693. You threatened
No, I
me. You
haven't.
said, "Oh, now I've got reason."
I've not threatened
Mate,
you
listen,
at all.
the camera doesn't lie.
I've not threatened you.
The
at
camera
all.
doesn't
You
lie.
can play your camera back.
I will.
alright?
I'll be
I've
playing.
not
I'll be playing
threatened
to your
you at all.
superior.
I'm just explaining that if you're filming an empty university that's actually closed at the moment to the university's actually closed. All right, to the students. It's
I'm not a
closed-
student.
It's closed to staff.
I'm not staff.
So why are you here?
I'm a member of the public, and I'm in a publicly accessible area.
Right.
That's why I'm
Okay.
here.
Well, that's fine. If you want to
I
film
know it's fine.
in open public spaces.
Yeah, and I'm allowed.
That's fine, but
Yeah.
you won't be filming inside buildings.
I don't want to film inside
okay?
a building.
And if you trespass in private property,
It's a civil matter. Are you telling me that you're going to do something for a civil matter?
I will do. 'Cause
Okay. Oh, so okay. Cool.
When the officer pivots to hypotheticals about Ed trespassing or recording inside buildings, he's effectively trying to justify present pressure with a situation that hasn't actually occurred. Basic trespass is generally a civil matter between a landowner and an individual, and it only becomes a police issue in certain circumstances where specific legal thresholds are met. You can't reasonably threaten enforcement based on what might happen rather than what is actually happening. At that moment, Ed is not inside any building, not bypassing security, and not refusing any clearly lawful direction tied to a defined power.
That's
if the
another
security
complaint.
asks you to leave a private
They
premises and you
but I
refuse,
haven't been on private property.
and you refuse
But I haven't
to,
been on private property.
then I'll have
Sir,
to consider
listen.
my powers under the breach of the peace.
Oh, so now you're threatening me for a crime that listen. What part of my behaviour is threatening or abusive?
Well, nothing at the moment.
Okay, so don't threaten me with something that
I'm not
hasn't
threatening
happened
you.
or that isn't going to
I
happen.
also
You
know
are.
the
That's
law,
no. Listen, you're
okay?
just threatening me with breach of the peace when a breach of the peace isn't going to happen
Well,
because
one
I'm
of
not
my
acting in.
fundamental roles is to prevent a breach of the peace.
Yeah, but there's going to be no breach of the peace because I'm not acting in a
That's
threatening
right.
or abusive
So
behaviour.
All I'm saying is don't go into private premises,
Listen,
don't film in the
how many
buildings.
times do you want to say that?
Okay, otherwise...
How many times do you want to say that, considering the fact that I said...
And then I'll have to support them to prevent a breach of the peace, is all I'm saying.
That's fine. You
And
could
that's
do,
me knowing my law.
That's fine. You could do that, but
Yeah,
I promise you that if the course of action that you've just stated happens, I'll sue you.
Well, that's fine. You're entitled to sue
And I'm
me.
going to make a complaint. 3 complaints in this 8 minutes 46 seconds, and 3 complaints about you. You're smart for keeping your mouth shut.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
You can complain.
See you later, then, guys. Go.
Okay.
Be gone.
Out of nowhere, breach of the peace is mentioned as if the phrase itself strengthens the situation. But that concept isn't a catch-all justification. It applies only where there's a real risk of imminent harm, violence, or serious disruption. Ed brings it back to the only relevant question. What has he actually done that is threatening or abusive? The officer's response, none at the moment, undermines the entire basis of the warning. If there's no threatening conduct, no escalation, and no real disorder forming, then invoking breach of the peace stops being preventative policing and starts sounding like a label without supporting facts.
No need to be rude.
I'm not being rude.
Okay.
Plus, is rudeness a crime? Is it a free country? If I would like to be rude, I'm well within my rights to be rude. Okay, so go away, please, and leave me alone. You're harassing me.
Okay, that's fine. Thank
All
you
right,
very much.
go away now. Told me I can't record in there, so now I'm going to have to walk round. You inform these guys that photography is not a crime as well, yeah? Educate these guys on the law. No, you're here. You're a public servant. You're here to uphold the law.
Yeah.
These guys have broken the law by filing a false report.
They haven't,
Okay,
no.
yes they have. Yes they have. They reported a crime when there wasn't a crime being committed. They made a false report. It is a breach of Section 5 of the Criminal Law Act 1967, and you are failing in your job right now,
Okay.
officer,
Well,
constable.
Thanks very much. It's been very nice talking to you. If you can maintain yourself on the public places,
I'll go wherever
okay,
I like. Thank you.
You know what my position is.
I'll
in
go
relation
wherever.
to
Yeah, you made threats. You made a threat of
I've not made a
arrest. You
threat.
did. You made an illegal threat of arrest. Bullies, guys.
What stands out at the end isn't confrontation, but avoidance. After the suspicion, questioning, and implied powers, the focus quietly shifts away from Ed and back toward security. Yet there's no visible effort to properly test the original report or examine its accuracy. The source of the concern isn't meaningfully challenged on camera, and there's no clear correction or acknowledgement of whether it was exaggerated. That silence is telling, because if the foundation of the encounter was solid, it wouldn't need to be stepped away from so quietly. There's also a subtle change in control. Early on, officers set the pace, framing Ed as a potential issue and directing the interaction. By the end, that control feels diminished. No detention, no search, no formal warning, and no clearly articulated offense ever materializes. What remains is frustration born not from disorder, but from an interaction that never fully justified itself. When Ed walks away, it isn't retreat, it's disengagement from circular reasoning.